This is Justin Kantor of SoulMusic.com. As the primary lead vocalist of Philadelphia Songbird's Sister Sledge, she made audiences get up on their feet and unite in harmony with the classics We Are Family, He's the Greatest Dancer, and Love, Don't You Go Through No Changes on Me. Now, she's taking her years of experience and translating it into a stage play, The Brighter Side of Day, paying tribute to the glory of Billie Holiday. She's also sharing the spotlight with her daughter and nieces in a TV-bound reality series aptly titled We Are Family. So the occasion of the interview sort of arises from this musical production you've put together with The Brighter Side of Day. So I was wondering, can you tell our readers what it is exactly and how it came to life?
It is a musical about the era and the time of Billie Holiday, and it was derived from, I have been actually told that I bring Billie Holiday to life on stage, and there are only two major productions about Billie Holiday, really, and that's Lady Day, and then there's Lady Day at Emerson's Bar and Grill, and both of those parts landed in my lap, one for Off-Broadway with George Faison, and the other with Stephen Stahl, Lady Day for Broadway. And it was just crazy to me that, someone told George Faison that I channeled Billie, and he literally showed up in front of my house one day. And he introduced himself, and he said, I'm George Faison, and I hear you channel Billie Holiday. I was like,
awesome.
Well, okay, I do now.
Yeah.
I was awarded the part. And ironically, the plays never really came into fruition, but what it did was it made me revisit a brighter side of Day, which is really biblical that I actually had always wanted to portray about Billie. I think I felt like if I bring her to life, then why don't we just celebrate the music and the lady and the class, and we all know the heavy story, and it has now been like snowballing to the point where we're sitting with major playwrights. We actually are, in a sense, interviewing like several playwrights.
Okay.
We have some major backing that's interested in coming on board. So I'm watching this thing snowball, and then the really exciting part too is my husband actually he grew up with the whole Philadelphia legendary jazz circuit, like Stanley Clarke, and so he and actually Stanley Clarke are co-producing the project together, the music part of it. So the jazz legends are coming on board too. And Stanley has invited some of his colleagues like George Duke and Herbie Hancock. And it's exciting because I'm seeing all of these people just come together, and it's to lift up the music and the era.
Now, you're also using your experience and expertise to sort of, I believe, guide the careers of your children in some ways, and even some of your sister's children in show business with a reality series that you're working on, aptly titled We Are Family. So,
I'm excited about that too. I have to tell you, Justin, I toured it with Michael and his brothers years ago.
Oh, yeah.
We did the sister-brother tour. And there were so many things that I felt like I could relate to with him. So, of course, when he passed, we were all devastated. But I have to say, I was ridiculously devastated. And I felt what it did with me is it made me stop and say, tomorrow's not promised. And there are 4 projects. Brighter Side of Day is one of them. The We Are Family reality show. And that is around the time that I started these projects. And now they're getting traction and starting to really build. And another is a book deal that I had just been offered. But to make a long story short, We Are Family was another one of these projects. I just felt like, the motivational speaker Les Brown always says, he raised the question in one of his books, Live Your Dreams. He asked a classroom at a university, where are some of the greatest resources ever? And they were answering, the gold mines in Africa, or the oil wells in Saudi Arabia, or the cornfields and Wisconsin. And he said, no, actually, they're the graveyards, because there are dreams and poems and songs and things we will never get to know if you don't do them now. And so when Michael passed, I thought about some of the things that I've talked about doing. And I just rolled up my sleeve. We're Family Reality Show is basically, it's about the next generation. Each sister, the sisters have daughters. They're gorgeous girls. My daughter, Kristen Gabrielle, and Debbie's daughter is tall like Debbie. And Kim's daughter, and then my goddaughter actually reminds you of Esperanza Spalding, amazing musician from Berkeley. They're all talented.
Oh, yeah, I went to Berkeley as well.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's cool.
So, yeah, Patricia. So it's like, I'm thinking, and then you have this huge brand that my sisters and I, that's our brand, and I thought, let's just attach this really swagger, hip, fun, adorable generation to it. And of course the moms will come out eventually too. I actually put it together that I'm sure there's going to be an interest with where are the moms,
Right.
But I thought, here's a way that I can do this. And reinvent the sisters as well. At the same time, branding, it's true, and branding is a huge thing now. And other things, they're all college grads. They're all, there's so much more to the next generation. There's, I use the girls as a hook, but then the sisters have sons as well, and they're all, like I said, they remind me of the Wayans family. And I just thought, let's do this.
It's interesting because you kept mentioning the new generation. I kept thinking of the song Brand New Generation, which was one of the first songs you guys ever recorded.
That's right. I think that was our first.
So going back a bit, and I know it was a different time and place, when you guys started, but I think you were 10, like when you had that first record on the Money Back label from Philadelphia with Time Will Tell and Brand New Generation. So
that's right, all that vibrato in my voice.
Yeah, I know. Well, I always just think of the Brand New Generation. At the end, you have your little Brand New Generation, y'all.
Yep. Talking to me now. Come on. I used to get them up out of their seats. That's funny. Awesome. But no, you're right. Yeah, you're right. Brand New Generation, y'all. You're right.
So,
oh my gosh.
How was it then, looking back at the beginning of you and your sisters, that at such a young age that you arrived at a situation where you had a record deal at that young of an age?
It's such an interesting question, and it's funny. I've been quiet for a long time, but I have to say in fact, I'm going to start. Actually, I just did the O interview, and it really made me, it was kind of a catharsis for me to start opening up about growing up in the industry, a family full of women, under a magnifying glass, and we stand for family, so you can't butt heads, even though of course we do.
Right.
But, when we were younger, I don't recall ever planning or having dreams of being a singer. It just happened, and it happened. We lived, and again, this is a part of the story that I am working on. People don't realize where we came from. We lived on top of a bar. There were 5 of us. My mom, my sister, my oldest sister, who was my best friend, Carol, she was kind of like our mom figure.
Wow. Because
my mom would hold down 3 jobs, and really what happened was someone asked us, but you know what? We never felt like we were struggling. We were always had so much love. There was such a bond with us. I think if anything, music got in the way of that bond because, and that's the hardest thing. I think that's a challenge with most bands, but even more magnified in family bands, and even more magnified in a family band that stands for family. So I think we had some huge challenges, but back then, never planned to be a group. Someone came up to us, and we would harmonize while we were playing jazz. We would just sing. We would sing. It was actually a part of recreation for us because we didn't have much, but we would sing. I kid you not. We would make carnivals for the neighborhood.
Oh,
we would
that's
do
awesome.
things like, we would make little popcorn balls and sell them. And
that's very creative. That's cool.
We were very creative, and we always had fun together as sisters, and we enjoyed each other as sisters. And I can say that music has gotten in the way of that.